I know there's been lots of talk about the fact that their new sporting director, Andrea Berta, wants Viktor Gyökeres, prolific Sporting Lisbon striker. He's got an extremely impressive scoring record in the Portuguese league. And there have been lots of reports that Berta wants Gyökeres, and he's told Mikel Arteta, this is the striker we need to sign. Now, my information is that they haven't yet narrowed it down to one name, which means that somebody like RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko is still very much on their radar as well. But what I can tell you is that Mikel Arteta will be seriously backed in the transfer market this summer. He will have at least £100 million to spend, plus any funds that are raised from selling players. It's important to stress that Arsenal, I think, are in a very healthy position financially. They've got no PSR issues. They realise, obviously, that finishing second is not good enough for their fans. They want to back Mikel Arteta so they can win a major trophy next season. That is why I'm convinced they'll be signing a striker this summer. They're very, very confident as well of signing Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. He's a player who Bayern Munich have tried to sign, Liverpool have tried to sign. I am sure that he will become an Arsenal player. They will trigger his release clause, €60 million at the end of the season. So make no mistake, this is going to be a big, big summer for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. He said it himself a couple of weeks ago that this will be a big summer for them in the transfer market. So I know there's lots of Arsenal fans out there putting pressure on the club to spend big this summer. I'm not saying that Arsenal are going to go crazy. They're not just going to throw their money around. They will still be careful, but Mikel Arteta will be backed at least £100 million. I wouldn't be surprised if you take into account the players who could be leaving if their final outlay wasn't close to £200 million.
And you can't get much for £100 million these days.
No, but really? You have to bear in mind, you're not paying that all at once.
No, I suppose.
You know, I don't want to become an accountant and start talking about, you know, how players are paid for.
Yes,
but it's done over the terms of their contract. Yeah. So it's not as if they need to put all the money down on the table.
Yeah.
But I think Arsenal, at least £100 million, maybe even closer to £200 million. So potentially good news for Arsenal fans.
Yeah, busy morning in the papers. Busy morning. Let's start with the man of the moment, Sporting Lisbon striker Viktor Gyökeres, and maybe the one that got away for Premier League sides. This is in the Times. Race on for 63 million Gyökeres. Really interesting story here. They say he's got a release clause of £83 million. However, the Times and Paul Hurst says that he could be available for around 63 million, which could alert Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea. Now, here's the key here. We're told he has a gentleman's agreement to leave next summer for this fee, £63 million. And he's got a good relationship with Sporting Lisbon and Ruben Amorim. Now, remember, Amorim has said throughout, since his move to Manchester United has been confirmed, that he won't buy any Sporting Lisbon players in January. So we'll wait and see in the summer. But 63 million, it's a lot of money. But in football transfer terms, for someone who's scoring constantly, it could be good value.